What is up, hooligans? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come and hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing. And happy freedom. Well, if I would have just checked the live before we ended that coffee with hooligans, they jumped the gun. Okay? So they started early without us. Not good. That's okay, though. I rewound it. They're still live as far as I know, so we're just going to go ahead and get it started.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello there, young child.
Well, it is good to be back in Pennsylvania.
Prostitute.
And to be with so many incredible leaders, members of our administration, members of Congress.
Rack those likes up. More likes, more hooligans.
And of course, Pennsylvania's own Joe Biden. Yes. So before I begin, if I might just refer to the governor's concern about my attendance today. You worry a little too much. But as a proud 49ers fan, congratulations to everyone here and the Eagles. And good luck in the Super Bowl. So Philadelphia, the president and I are here to address a critical issue that affects every person in America: clean drinking water. Few resources are more basic and more essential. Without reliable access to clean water, people can simply not be healthy, communities cannot grow, and our nation cannot prosper. No matter where they live, every person in America should have a right to clean water. And yet, today, across our nations, far too many Americans do not. Today, across the West, historic droughts have forced millions to endure water shortages, wildfires, and billions of dollars in economic damages. Today, millions of Americans live in places where even moderate flooding can overwhelm sewage systems and contaminate drinking water. We have heard too many stories of people who, after storms, have pools of sewage water under their floorboards. And as a result, in particular in communities across the South, we have seen a rise in infections like hookworm and diseases like Zika. And across our nation, up to 10 million homes and thousands of schools and childcare facilities receive their water through lead pipes. To be clear, lead is a poison. Drinking water contaminated with lead causes serious health issues, especially contaminated with lead. It stunts growth, it causes damage to the brain, and it affects a child's ability to learn. Last week, for example, I met a bright young leader. He's 9 years old. His name is Aiden. Aiden lives in Milwaukee with his mother, Deanna, and his brother, Jaden. Today, Aiden is healthy, and he is full of energy. But that was not always the case. Because you see, when Aiden was 2 years old, he was hospitalized for lead poisoning, twice, for drinking water out of the tap at the kitchen sink. Deanna told me that before Aiden's hospitalization, he experienced severe mood swings. One minute he was happy, the next minute he was sobbing. Deanna told me it was terrifying. Well, I think we all agree, no child in America should ever have to endure that kind of experience, and no parent in America should ever have that experience. And so together, with the leaders here today, and with leaders across our nation, we have made access to clean water a priority of our administration's national agenda. And with the largest investment in America's water infrastructure in history, we are going to see this through and get this work done. Specifically, we invested billions of dollars in flood and drought resilience for communities across our nation, in water treatment plants like this one, in removing every lead pipe in America. And just last week at the White House, I convened union leaders and utility providers and state and local elected officials to strategize about what we will do to implement these investments, to make sure that we move as fast as possible to get this work done. And all of this progress is possible because of the vision, the purpose, and the incredible leadership of our President, Joe Biden. For 2 years, for the 2 years that he has been president and many years before that, Joe Biden has fought to make sure that children like young Aiden have the opportunity to grow up and to be healthy and to live up to their God-given potential. So we have a lot to be thankful for in our president. And now, before he speaks, it is my honor to introduce a leader who knows firsthand the impact of our hard work, the mother of an incredible daughter.
What's the name of the shapeshifter signer today?
Has helped children around our country, families around our country, be safe and healthy. Please welcome,
with a giant sniff, Old Man Walter. Clap right into that microphone. I love it. Oh, it's not Old Man Walter. What's a woman?
Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name is Jana, and I am a proud Philadelphian. I was drawn to this city by its rich history, but 8 years ago, that history poisoned my baby girl. At just 12 months old, she had a blood lead level of 14. That's 4 times the action level set by the CDC today. The first phone call with the pediatrician was terrifying. Damage from lead is permanent, she said, irreversible. Potential loss of IQ, low weight gain, sleep disturbances, speech delays. And when the public health...
We can't afford to lose IQ points, let me tell you.
...preventable, I was heartbroken. Now, since that day, we've done everything we can for our little girl. Blood tests, speech therapists, early intervention, endless appointments. And while we will never know what potential was stolen from her, today she is a thriving, beautiful little girl. With the help of advocacy groups like Children First, I transformed my guilt into action by helping to pass lead-safe rental laws, improve building codes, and fight for universal testing. The real solutions prevent lead poisoning before it happens. The real solutions take leadership. For decades, we have told parents, and let's face it, mostly moms, that to prevent lead poisoning, they should pick up a mop or put a water filter in their home. All that time, we have known that to truly stop lead poisoning, we have to take out the water pipes or the dirt or the paint. As a country, we accepted the lost potential of generation after generation because no leader was willing to act.
Flint's watching this all pissed off right now, bathing in bottled water.
Of little action, President Biden and Vice President Harris signed legislation that will bring new funding and a commitment to tackle this challenge head-on. Our kids will be safer, our communities stronger, thanks for their leadership. And that is why it is my great honor to introduce a leader who said enough is enough. A leader willing to act so no parent has to get a phone call telling them to fight an invisible poison on their own. Please welcome President Biden.
What, is this a communist country or something? I thought this is America.
Hello there, young child.
Are they friend or foe?
I just sit here and make myself laugh. I hope you guys are joining me. Uh-oh, he found some prey. He found some prey. Look at him. Look at that look in his eye. Better hide your child. Oh no. Is that today's sacrifice? They just propping him up, huh? Oh yes. Oh yes. That's right there. Not good. Not good. If you're a parent and you let old man Walter just take your child and run off, you don't deserve to be a parent.
You went through, you're changing the life of thousands and thousands, millions of kids in America. So we owe you a big round of applause. And I love your earrings.
Run away!
Thank you. Well, folks, hello.
Jesus.
I'm Joe Biden's husband.
The child, he's like, Mommy tried to sniff me so hard.
First thing I'm going to say is, go Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. Now, the good news is I happen to mean it, but even if I didn't, I'd say, you know why? Otherwise, I'd be sleeping alone. She is, everybody sit down. As the mayor knows, she is one self-assured Philly fan. No matter what. My wife hates violence, she says. But I told Bobby...
Look at Harris's neck. It's wider than her head is, and it's 2 shades too bright. It's almost like the Grinch.
Anyway. And
her neck grew 2 sizes that day.
Violence goes, get him, here, jumping up. The Secret Service looking, where the heck did that come from? But anyway, thank you, Kamala. Thank you very much. You guys don't have to stand up here. Come on, why don't you go?
You don't have to stand. Just sit on the floor. Pretzel leg.
You've been a leader in this issue for a long time because you know how much it matters. Mayor Jim Kenney, thanks for the passport back into the city, man. You know, for years and years.
The shapeshifter on the side there, their hands are so big it makes mine look like KJP.
It was Philadelphia. I was as
not good
as I was everywhere else, you know what I mean? They had to cover us, you know, I mean. Well, I don't know about I still am, but I'm happy to be here with the new governor, Josh Shapiro. Josh, you're going to be a great governor.
Come on, man.
And I'm mildly partial to Bobby Casey. He's from Scranton, not Scranton, Scranton. And we lived not very far from one another when I was up there as a kid. And I still go home. And I want to thank you we're going to make sure, Bobby, that rail line goes back like it was in 1970 from Scranton to New York.
Why is he having a handheld microphone but still leaning forward? What is he doing?
You've been a great partner, pal, and you've only been
old geezer status.
You've been a fighter not only for Pittsburgh but for the whole country. And Dwight Evans, you've been a good friend and a great supporter representing the community. And look, the relentless work of other members of Congress is helping make so much progress. I want to thank our EP Administrator, Michael Regan. He is doing a great job. He was down doing a great job in North Carolina. We went just and stole him, just flat stole him. But you're doing a great job, Michael. Thank you very much. And thanks to the folks who run this plant and fix our water system here in Philly. AFSCME, plumbers and pipe fitters, laborers, all helping to deliver clean water. And by the way, all this money we're spending is going to hire union workers. Union workers.
I don't know. That's not what the reports say every other week. Pretty sure it's going elsewhere.
Report we talked about this morning. Next week, we're reporting on the State of the Union. I'll be doing that from the Capitol. But I reported today on the state of the economy. This morning's report showed that the economy's strong. We added more jobs, over 500,000 jobs this last month, and the
Words are hard.
of last month was another 500,000. We've created 12 million jobs. 12 million jobs since
12 million jobs.
that's the strongest
Come on, old man Walter.
in the history and by a long shot. And I want to thank the members of Congress here who were the ones who supported that. My initiatives that made this possible. Look, my dad used to have an expression. He said, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's to be able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. There's now 12 million more Americans.
He can't do a speech without saying that.
And
He needs everyone to know his old pappy called him honey
dignity.
in the middle of the night.
Because there's nothing worse than not being able to provide for your family as a mother or a father. And it gives people a sense of self-worth. We're here today to talk about the progress we're making in rebuilding America's infrastructure.
How about the Chinese balloon in the sky?
I signed the bipartisan infrastructure law, a once-in-a-generation investment, putting America to work to rebuild our nation's roads, highways, bridges, railroads, ports, airports, high-speed internet, our water systems, and so much more. I was given a copy of a speech that I made about 30 years ago saying we need an infrastructure bill to deal with water. I'm not joking. I'd forgotten that.
It's not a joke.
They dug it up for me. But the point is, we've been needing this for a long time. This is not new. I remember starting off and working like hell on the lead paint initiative because that was such a problem. I've traveled the country in recent weeks and seen this law in action. A massive new bridge over the Ohio River between Kentucky and Ohio. A huge tunnel along the Amtrak line in Baltimore and New York, billions of dollars. Pennsylvania alone is going to get $8
Billions, trillions, thousands of dollars.
billion so far as the gov can tell you. Just outside Pittsburgh, because of the senator, we just spent $850 million to replace a 100-year-old bridge, and the Montgomery Lock and Dam system is critical to our nation's economy is coming. Investment and increase the capacity of the system by over 50% at a critical choke point. You know, Bobby Casey's been talking to me about this for so long, I think we're going to call it the Casey Lock when it's done. But look, I'm here today to talk about an issue affecting Americans across the country, water. You think it's silly, but water. You know, the issue has to do with basic dignity. Every American deserves to be able to turn on their water tap.
Yes, Mr. Old Man Walter, tell us what it's like to have dignity.
The most prosperous nation in the world. Water ought to be something that's just guaranteed. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Right now, there are an estimated 160,000 service lines carrying water into homes and schools in Pennsylvania, including an estimated 20,000 lines for homes here in the city of Philadelphia. 10 million families across the country, and hundreds of thousands of schools, and where school children and daycare centers exist that lead pipes, lead valves, and lead fixtures. And folks, look,
Lead projectiles.
but it's especially bad in older cities in the Midwest and here in the Northeast. Many houses built in the last century. An average age of water and sewer pipes in the U.S. is nearly 50 years old. And they're often even older in major cities like Philadelphia. Many water mains and pipes in the country are nearing the end of their useful lives. And our water systems break down, the pipes start to deteriorate, exposure to lead and pipes increases. And beyond lead pipes, there's as many as 24 million housing units that have significant problems with lead-based paint. And here's why it matters. I know
These people are out of their minds. In Muskegon, which is a pretty big city that's near me, I used to know some people that worked for the township and all that. They were working on water mains, and they discovered that the water mains are connected by joints that are made out of wooden crates. So the water supply in Muskegon and specific areas, the water passes through a wooden crate that was put there in like the 50s or 60s or something. So yeah, lead pipes, Ask Flynn about what it's like to drink lead water.
with the exposure.
These people are off their rocker.
The problem disproportionately affects low-income families. As Dwight said, people of color are much more likely to live in homes where lead exposure is an issue.
The lead's racist now? I was unaware.
We know better than that. And we know we're proving it. Look, the Vice President and I made a commitment to replace every single service line in every part of the country over the next decade.
They had to blur out the individual on the right side of the screen. It was too much. It's more effective. The sign language is more effective if you can't see it.
I signed the American Rescue Plan, which the governor indirectly referred to, that sent $350 billion to state and local governments. And we said they could use it for things like replacing lead lines and lead fixtures in their communities. I'm proud the city of Pittsburgh used, Pittsburgh now, I'm not misspeaking here, used $17.5 million.
Robert, lead paint blocks radiation. Yep. And now all those power lines and stuff are affecting people in their homes. It's all the radiation, electric waves coming off those towers and stuff. Not just 5G, but all kinds of stuff is not being blocked by lead paint. Lead paint came from China, but they don't want to talk about that neither. They just want everyone to watch the balloon in the sky.
Specifically for lead pipes and lead service removal. Pennsylvania, as referenced earlier, already has gotten $240 million they can use to upgrade the water system, and they'll get an additional funding each year for the next 4 years. They sent $160 million of that money here to Philadelphia to upgrade water treatment plants and to replace older water mains and lead pipes. Philadelphia's water department.
That's Sam Antha Hansby Large over there, throwing up gang signs.
Old water lines. They're 100 years old. Today we're announcing a $340 million loan, which is under a program that exists in the government of very low interest rates and a stretched time to pay it back. And you'll be able to save a lot of money in the process and lives. The first $20 million is going to replace.
Give us that math, old man Walter.
And 15 miles of distribution mains, which are going to protect public health and prevent additional water mains.
MDOT for the common good. Exactly.
Pennsylvania is one of 4 states that's part of a new partnership with mayors and governors and labor.
The government shows up and says they're here to help. Just kiss your nuggets goodbye.
Where their pipes haven't been replaced for half a century. We're not just doing this work here in Philly. We're doing it across the country, from coast to coast in the American heartland.
Just fade to black. It's all over. I thought I was having a stroke for a moment there.
Different federal agencies. Get all 10 of them together so that we could pool money and get it out the door.
Rasta, she's GD. Is she throwing up 6 points? Is that what she's doing? Throwing down the 5?
$5 billion to work in big cities and places to work going to increase, and we're going to increase the amount of money in years to come.
She plays linebacker for the Shapeshifting Predator team.
Individual project, but 10 years the money's going to be available. And one of the things about infrastructure law that I'm most excited about is we're doing this with American workers and with products made in America and with union labor.
Those lies were made in America.
I know, and maybe even some of you think I'm too pro-union. Well, it's not, but there's a reason for this. You know, everybody talks about college education. Well, to be a plumber and pipe fitter, what the hell do you think it takes? It takes you 4 to 5 years of an apprenticeship, like going back to school, like going to 4 years of college. That's why we have the best workers in the world, the union workers, because they're the best trained in the world. And that's not hyperbole.
It's not hyperbole.
Plumbers, pipe fitters, union, electricians,
Fight fitters.
cement masons, iron workers, steel workers, communication workers.
I'm a fight fitter. Make sure you guys are fit to fight.
These are good jobs you can raise a family on. And they don't require a college degree because you have, in a sense, a college degree through the apprenticeship program, which is one reason why the United States, as I said, has the best trained workers in the world. It would be a digression to get into it, but we did the Chips and Science Act.
The Chips and Salsa Act.
One of the companies investing over $80 billion in that.
Super clear.
investigator said you have the best workers in the world. And it's coming out of South Korea. The best workers in the world. Let me close with this. Folks, this isn't complicated. Every person in this country deserves to be able to turn on a faucet and have clean drinking water. And through the infrastructure law, we're making historic investments to make sure that they can. When America sees us making these investments all across America, replacing these pipes,
Lip smacking.
roads and bridges, and that sends a message. We can really do big things. I think America over the previous 5, 6, 7 years began to wonder whether we could do big things. There's nothing, and I mean, let's think about this now from a historical perspective. There's nothing we've ever set our mind to as a country that we haven't succeeded in doing. Nothing. Nothing. We're the only country in the world that comes out of every crisis stronger than we went in. And that's what we're doing on the economy now. That's what we're doing under this infrastructure legislation. We can move this nation forward. And I want to send another message, too. It's a message of pride. Pride in our country, pride in our capability, pride. Pride what we can do when we do it together. And it generates a sense of self-worth. Generates a sense of self-worth. Knowing
Yes, tell us how we feel, old man Walter.
I've long said, it's never been a good bet. Never, ever been a good bet to bet against America.
We'll prove you right, old man Walter.
And I mean this sincerely. And a lot of Philadelphians know me. I've been around for a long time. I have never, ever, ever, ever been more optimistic about America's chances in the world than I am today. Never. We're at one of those inflection points in world history where things are going to change dramatically over the next couple of years. And what we do...
Is he going to say, where does it say that we can't be number one?
The world's going to look like 20...
And then, you know, the angry yelling comes after.
We reach those inflection points every 5 or 6 generations, maybe fewer. And that's who we are. We're leading the world once again. We are the nation that the rest of the world looks to. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright was right. We are the essential nation. But we got to remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing.
Trying so hard not to yell.
The least we can do, although it's going to be incredibly expensive and take a little bit of time, is make sure that those 400,000 schools and daycare centers and the like, when they turn on water at that school with a tap in the fountain, that water is clean and pure. We owe it to our kids and grandkids. God bless you all, and thank you for what you're doing.
Half the schools here don't even have heat. When they play his music, I either am expecting the Imperial March from Star Wars, like when Darth Vader walks in, or the music from when the creatures are flying in the sky on the Wizard of Oz outside the witch's room. You know, I can't identify them because God only knows. I'd probably get a hate speech strike or something, but you know what I'm talking about. That dun 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 dun. Like, that's what it sounds like. Old man Walter killing us slowly but surely. Anyways and always. It sounds like an old man Walter phrase. So that's all I had today that I know of. I will keep my eyes open to see what else is going on because it is Friday. I might even go live and play the game later for you hooligans that like to hang out and watch me die over and over again on the game. We'll see. Definitely be a part of Gilded to stay up to date with everything going on. Make sure that you... Come on, brain. I don't remember. Drew a blank. Anyways, join Gilded. Gilded is free. Let me do my little spiel really quick, and then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, hooligans. When you get a second, please go to jeffmaclive.com. You can also find the link in the description on any of these lives we are running right now. On the home page, you can find links listed. You can find the link to join Gilded for free. Gilded is currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live. You'll also receive notifications for important updates and other things that I feel that you hooligans should be aware of. There is a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. There is a ton of hooligans in there to hang out with all day, every day, to chat about pretty much whatever you would like. So definitely join Gilded. Also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to the merch store if you would like to grab merch. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black, but if you find something you like, just click on that item to see all the colors that item comes in. We're also going to have some new designs coming out. I got camo logos coming out. I got some Pro 2A stuff coming out. And then, of course, some edgy phrases written on the front of t-shirts to make bold statements, and I'm a big fan of that, if you haven't already figured that out. So definitely keep an eye on the merch store. Also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, and Buy Me a Coffee if you would like to support what I do. There's also a link to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me stuff. It is very easy to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent to me without you having to seek information or do any of that tedious stuff. Very simple. Also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to all the membership programs. We have memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. And then also jeffmaclive.com itself is a free speech platform where you can watch all of these lives without being censored or monitored by the government or people that hate you. There's none of that going on. You will have profiles, you will have your own social media, you will be able to watch the live. I'm also going to put the playlist if you guys want to watch all the riots that we covered when I first became a live streamer. You'll be able to watch all the press briefings all the way back to Jem Balsaki. All the watch parties that we've covered, all the Coffee with Hooligan episodes that we've covered, which I think we've done like 60 or 70 episodes of Coffee with Hooligans, which is pretty amazing. I love being able to do this every day with you guys. We have Hooligan Bingo on there. We are going to start doing that as soon as we get more members in there. It's not going to be fun to do it with 3 or 4 people, so we got to get more people in there. Fun things to come, so definitely keep an eye on jeffmaclive.com. That's my spiel. All right, I'm going to read through the chat really, really quick, and then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Hey, God bless you, Jerry. I really wish that YouTube wouldn't have made all the names different colors. It's hard to tell who's an official hooligan, who's just simply happy to be here. Either way, it is what it is. I'm not seeing you guys tag my name too much. Moving forward. PJ. I try. The news is not very fun, so I'd rather just sit here and be a comedian. Or at least try my best. Dominus Dank, back to work. Well, I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you for joining us. Tana is such a waste of skin. Old man Walter. I don't know, if he kicks the bucket, they'll just put another one up there. Pay attention to the ears. It's all in the ears. Even when we cover like those Fox News clips and they're talking about Hunter Biden and all that, when they show images of old man Walter, sometimes there's hanging lobes, sometimes there's attached lobes. And 3rd grade science taught us that that is not possible. They're either hanging lobes or attached lobes, and it's probably not phrased correctly, but we're not here to be politically correct, because that is the doorway for censorship. All those words that, I don't know, in the early 2000s, they were like, well, that's not politically correct to say. That's how we got to where we are now. That's how we got community guidelines and all this stuff. Censoring free speech is because we allowed political correctness to take over. And now most people in America couldn't sit through a whole episode of South Park, and it just saddens me deeply in my soul. Anyways, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to wrap this up. I've had way too much coffee. I feel like Hunter Biden. I'm just all cracked out. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, beautiful hooligans. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Beansy Beans, for gifting subscriptions on Twitch. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, well, that's that I know of. We will see what else today brings, but that's all there was on the schedule. Today's Friday, so tomorrow we will have another Coffee with Hooligans at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully I see all of you hooligans there. You guys are amazing as always. I appreciate all of you. So yeah, we'll be wrapping this up. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.